Very good afternoon, namaskar. It is indeed a pleasure to be part of today's deliberation. These deliberations are very important in the context of the geopolitical situation that has emerged over the last 4 months. While India has done significantly well in carving out an energy security strategy, keeping sustainability into the fore, and meeting with a vision to meet the goals of net carbon zero by 2070, electrification by certain dates, solar energy set up by certain dates. Many targets have been set. We have identified our energy mix. We have also launched various missions, whether it is the solar mission or wind mission or renewable, and now very recently we have launched our nuclear program, in which the private sector participation for the development of SMRs and large-size nuclear plants to serve as the basic baseload power for net carbon zero. So there has been significant improvement. Before I switch on, I would like to also mention our efforts for international collaboration with the two countries whose representatives are present here. Between Russia and India, I would like to greet all of them. With Russia and India, there have been a long-term relationship on nuclear energy. We have had significant transfer of technology, transfer of products, joint development, production, and setting up, including all the things which have happened so far. In addition to that, there have been other areas with Russia. They have been our great partners. So my greetings to the gentleman from Russia. Our relationship with Iceland, I would like to mention that when I was in DRDO, just I had come out of DRDO and I started looking at things other than the missiles. One thing that came to my notice right in the beginning was geothermal energy. And when I did the scan, I found Carbon Recycling International, one of the Iceland activity which was going on. In those days, I'm talking about 2013, 14, when I started looking at that. I approached them for helping us out for doing the geothermal exploration in the country. And we had some dialogue. I was impressed by the kind of work that has been done of capturing carbon dioxide from the steel plants using the geothermal energy and then converting into methanol, and they became one of the largest producers of methanol. Efforts have been made between our industries in India and the CRI. Much not has happened, but there is a window open, and this collaboration can really leapfrog, take us further into geothermal area, carbon capture utilization, and many of the things which are presently integral to India's energy strategy. So these are all the things I would like to mention. Now coming to the topic today, it's very important that we look at India's energy strategy in the context of the political changes which have happened. You all understand that India's roadmap towards energy independence, energy security, and net carbon zero emission by 2070, with Viksit Bharat at 2047, are the national milestone. Please mind my words. We are also talking of energy independence. While we have done significantly well, as mentioned by many of you, but we should today focus on ensuring that in the present situation and also similar situation emerging in future, where supply chains could be very, very difficult to maintain, it becomes very important that we look at all the things what we have done so far. Today, if we say India is not merely expanding its economy, actually we are reshaping the foundations of our for our future civilization. And at the center of this transformation is the energy. Because energy is not simply electricity. Energy is for transportation, agriculture, digital infrastructure, defense manufacturing, urbanization, healthcare, education, and ultimately the word is national sovereignty. That's the most important part. So the countries that dominate the energy systems of the future will dominate the geopolitics and economics of the 21st century. Our nation is pursuing 4 major goals, and it's a unique exercise. Our first goal today, because we are looking at India as a developed nation, to have a high economic growth and be developed by 2047. Second one, we are ensuring complete energy security and strategic autonomy. While the word is complete energy security. Third one we are doing is we should reduce as much as possible our dependence on imported fossil fuels. You know what is happening in the present situation, that just the 4 months embargo or disconnect or disruption has resulted in what kind of impact it had on our various industries which are dependent on fossil fuels. You know that we are likely to run into problems of availability of fertilizers. We are already suffering due to non-availability of LPG, and hotels are suffering, chota dukanwala are suffering. So these are the major problems. So it is important that we should hang on the critical technologies. And fourth one is that we are looking for net carbon zero by 2070. All these goals are interconnected. So it is important that not only we should depend on our military strength to be strong, but equally on secure, affordable, clean, and indigenous energy systems. At present, what is the situation? India is heavily dependent on the imports of crude oil, natural gas, even the solar modules, lithium batteries, semiconductor materials, and critical minerals. Therefore, energy independence is not merely an environmental aspiration, it is a geopolitical and economic necessity. Friends, we are the largest energy consumer after China and United States. And our rapid industrialization, urbanization, rising incomes, and technological expansion will dramatically increase our energy demand over the next few decades. It is expected that as of early 26, India's installed electricity generation capacity has crossed approximately 520 gigawatts. Most importantly, non-fossil fuel capacity now exceeds, mind my word, fossil fuel capacity, a major structural transformation in India's energy sector. Solar energy contributes around 130 gigawatts, wind about 54 gigawatts, hydroelectricity about 50 gigawatts, and nuclear energy about 9 gigawatts. And in terms of achievement of goals, India has achieved more than 50% installed capacity of non-fossil fuels 5 years ahead of the original schedule of 2030. But an important reality must be understood. Even though renewable energy forms more than half of installed capacity, coal still generates the majority of actual electricity because coal plants operate continuously as baseload power while solar and wind are intermittent. The challenge will define India's energy transition. We should look at the indicator, what is called per capita consumption, which is related to whether we are a developed nation or otherwise. So long-term national projections, electricity demand may rise nearly 4 times by 2047 because of that. And this will happen because electric mobility will grow, green hydrogen production will grow, artificial intelligence and data centers will be in large numbers, demanding a lot of power. Semiconductor manufacturing, which has been launched in the last 10 years, it is going to demand again. And we are all aiming for smart cities where consumption of power is going to be very, very. Our railway has been electrified. Our air conditioning system, based upon the kind of climate changes happening, will demand more and more energy. We are a water-starved nation, and day is not far off when we will do what is called water desalination. And our manufacturing infrastructure will also demand. And we are opening more and more defense production hubs. All this will indicate why energy demand will go up. What does it mean? True energy independence has to be obtained for meeting all these goals. Reducing dependence on imported oil. We should manufacture our own solar cells, our own batteries, our own electrolyzers, and semiconductors within India. It means secure access to critical minerals like lithium, cobalt, nickel, and rare earth magnets. It means resilient power grids. We know our grid, how it can get disturbed because of the penetration of the renewable and the intermittency and the demand versus the ducker, as we call us. Strategic reserves we have to improve, and indigenous control over energy technologies have to be achieved. But there are major challenges before us. India imports nearly 85% of the crude. This exposes us to geopolitical tensions, shipping disruptions, and global price shocks. Similarly, we are importing for renewable solar wafers, lithium-ion cells, rare earth magnets, and advanced power electronics. And large-scale renewable integration requires battery storage, pumped hydro systems, smart grids, flexible thermal power plants, and artificial intelligence-driven forecasting systems. We need critical mineral security because we depend heavily for all of them on minerals that currently lack in sufficient quantity in our own country. And all of this puts financial stress on our system. Electricity distribution companies continues to affect because they are not able to do grid modernization because of the lack of investment capacity. To achieve energy independence by 2047, India needs a multi-dimensional strategy. And we should expand our renewable energy. We have to aim for about 1,000 gigawatts of solar capacity and about 450 gigawatts of wind energy. Large solar parks, floating solar plants, rooftop solar systems, agrivoltaics, offshore wind farms must become national priorities. Second one, and government has made a major effort due to the initiatives taken by NITI Aayog, the nuclear energy must play a strategic role. India must rapidly expand pressurized heavy water reactors, fast breeder reactors, thorium-based systems, and small modular reactors. We have the world's largest thorium reserves. A long-term thorium strategy can provide centuries of indigenous energy capacity. We should deviate from our three-stage program and launch into other technological means by which we can enter into the use of thorium as a fuel at the earliest. Our national target has been in this area about 100 gigawatts by 2047, which is a very, very difficult task, but if we make an effort, at least we'll reach somewhere else. Third one is green hydrogen. Again, we have said that we'll become a global leader because it is essential for fertilizers, steel production, refineries, shipping, aviation fuel, and long-duration energy storage. We have to indigenize for that electrolyzers, manufacturing, and catalyst technologies. Fourth, transportation must be electrified. We are already into good electrification. Two-wheelers are already getting into the majority, but freight rail electrification, hydrogen-based heavy transport, ethanol blending, sustainable aviation fuel, and high-speed rail networks can dramatically reduce the oil imports. Manufacturing independence is absolutely essential. Therefore, India must build complete domestic ecosystem for solar wafers and polysilicon, batteries and storage systems, power semiconductors, smart grid technologies, wind turbines, rare earth processing, electrolyzers. I mentioned this because there are industry leaders present here, and all of us are very happy because we are getting some cheap technology, cheap items from various sources, and we are comfortable, not knowing that that is a kind of a tap which can be switched off any time, and then you will be not able to use this. So it becomes important for the private enterprise to take initiatives for indigenization at the earliest. Then India will also be digital and intelligent. So AI-based demand forecasting, smart meters, cyber security systems, high voltage transmission corridors, and vehicle-to-grid integration technologies have to be mastered. For artificial intelligence, we should be using it for advanced computing, may become a central tool for energy optimization. Of course, this includes, we have to improve our strategic reserve, which include petroleum, critical minerals, large-scale battery recycling ecosystem. Coal too will continue to play a stabilizing role during the transition period. I demitted my office from NITI Aayog only about 2 weeks back. Just before coming, I was working on a paper that India's future lies in switching over from gas economy to the coal economy. Clean coal technologies with carbon capture utilization should be our foray, because we have 400 billions of coal. Once upon a time, it was told that Indian coal cannot be gasified. But today we have the technologies indigenous where Indian high-ash content coal is gasified. We can build chemicals, we can make SAF, we can do fertilizer, we can do DME, we can ensure that LPG can be replaced by DME for all the activities. All this is possible if we push coal economy. And India's initiative, which has just come out 1 week back, 37,500 crores approved with the cabinet, is basically for promoting coal gasification. I think that will be really making a difference. So clean coal technologies will make a difference, which includes coal gasification, ultra-supercritical and advanced ultra-supercritical thermal power plants, flexible thermal systems, and carbon capture technologies. I'm very happy that Iceland ambassador mentioned about carbon technologies. Even Russia talked about carbon capture technologies. I think we should work with them and get the cost of carbon capture to a level which is affordable. And we have a major problem. India's net zero transition may require investment exceeding about $20 trillion by 2070. So finance is a major issue. This will require sovereign green bonds, climate finance, multilateral institutions, pension funds, carbon markets, and so on. But India succeeds, the rewards will be historic. By 2047, we may turn into a global hub for solar manufacturing, a leader in green hydrogen, a nuclear technology power, a smart grid superpower, a resilient electric mobility. So to conclude, I would say, ultimate goal is strategic energy sovereignty. India's energy transition among the greatest civilizational transformations in modern history. No nation of India's population size has ever attempted simultaneous rapid economic growth, poverty reduction, industrialization, technological advancement, and decarbonization at such a scale. The path ahead demands balance, vision, scientific innovation, industrial policy, national determination, and very, very strong international collaboration. The immediate milestone before us is Viksit Bharat by 2047, long-term destination of net zero 2070. If executed successfully, India will emerge not only as an energy secure nation, but also as one of the defining technological and industrial leaders by 21st century. So let us therefore move forward. All the leaders have to contribute with ambition, vision, wisdom, innovation, and confidence. I'm sure this conference will throw up ideas. This will also bring out strategies to make India energy independent and meet all the vision and goals which our Honorable Prime Minister has set in. Wish you all the best for the conference. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.